Once I spend that shit, it's gone, so I don't think twice about no bitch. I fell in love with them SRTs, used to have dreams and play they shit.
Of cinema. The whole thing, every major turning point, every game-changing moment. Have you ever stopped to think about what a miracle movies really are? I mean, seriously, human beings figured out how to capture time, to take light, shadow, sound, emotion, and story and
crazy,
bottle
bro.
it up in a frame.
Imagine like that is like this actually crazy. Like the first nigga to make a movie, like them niggas, like they created like that is like revolutionary shit. Like you know how many niggas stole they swag, nigga. Like them niggas like created an entire movement, like dead ass like an entire like nigga. These niggas created an entire class in school. There's niggas who literally go to school to create movies. Imagine the first nigga to create a movie like the fucking knowledge that nigga had. Like that nigga had to have some crazy ass aura, like dead ass. Like that's crazy aura.
For a century, we've used that magic to entertain, inspire,
like,
provoke, and sometimes even start revolutions.
Even if this shit was ass, which it probably was ass on some ass shit, but you gotta understand the technology back then. Like the nigga could only do so much with what he had to, but he probably had a better vision in his brain. He probably wanted to do some more crazier shit, but he was just hindered by the technology that he had during the time. I know it, bro. Dead ass. Imagine if we were living back then. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I be thinking about this shit like low key. I want to live back then because the times are way better. Because oh my, holy fuck nowadays. I'm not even talking about. It's cooked. We're cooked. Nigga, we're cooked. But I'm just saying though, like I ain't gonna lie, but it's the only bad part is technology. Like we don't have. Like what I'm gonna do when I get bored? Like I know niggas be talking about going outside, but like what if that late night 3 a.m. like the niggas in the 90s late night 3 a.m. they was probably in the bed. You feel me? Like what if I want to scroll on TikTok 3 a.m. I can't do that. Dead ass.
But movies didn't just appear. From silent shadows on a wall to computer-generated backgrounds, movies have evolved, and today we're telling the entire story of cinema. The whole thing, every major turning point, every game-changing moment that shaped the movies we love, and knowing the journey of how movies came to be will make you love them even more. So grab your popcorn because this is the complete history of cinema.
Talk to me.
Before movies were movies, they were optical illusions. In the late 1800s, devices like the zoetrope
What the sound do? What it sound like?
were basically spinning wheels that created the illusion of motion. Yeah, it sounds like a cool science fair project, but back then it was their avatar. At the same time, Thomas Edison was building devices like the kinetoscope, where you could peek into a box and watch short films. Then Edison and his assistant
ain't that the nigga that made the light bulb? That's the nigga that made the light bulb, ain't it? Okay.
William Dixon unveiled a new type of recording camera that they called the kinetograph. This is widely recognized as one of the world's first motion picture cameras. At that,
bro, I know. That nigga Tom did make that shit. Let me look. I know I heard the nigga named Thomas Edison before. How you spell that nigga shit? Yeah, that nigga did make the light bulb. This nigga made motion cameras, light bulbs, and I don't know what the fuck a phonograph is. What the fuck is that? So technically this nigga made light bulbs, and he made pictures. I ain't gonna lie, that nigga had some motion. He had crazy motion. I ain't gonna lie. Holy. Oh shit. I mean, WV. I ain't type shit.
Time nobody
I didn't mean
really
to do
knew
that,
what
but
to do with it, but they knew
I'll
it was
subscribe,
something
nigga.
that nobody had
I ain't hating
ever
ass
seen
nigga.
before.
Matter of
Even though
fact,
Edison
subscribe.
and Dixon were
Nigga, subscribe to me too. Bitch ass nigga.
were known to have created one of the first motion picture cameras, the real turning point came in 1895
Right.
when two French brothers, Auguste and Louise Lumière, set up a camera, filmed a train pulling into a station, and projected it onto a screen for a crowd. That film, Arrival of the Train at La Ciotat Station, is considered one of the very first motion pictures. And legend has it, the audience screamed and dove out of the way, thinking the train was coming through the screen. Whether that's true or just cinematic myth, it captures the vibe that movies were a miracle. Then came George Méliès, a magician turned filmmaker who saw movies not just as a way to show reality, but to escape it. His film, A Trip to the Moon in 1901, featured hand-painted sets, multiple exposures, and the famous image of a rocket stuck in the moon's eye. This
So technically, he was the first nigga to, like, he ain't the first nigga to use CGI on some shit, but he like the first nigga to use kind of like practical effects. Okay. I'm seeing it. I respect it. I see the vision.
wasn't just a
I see how
recording
we
of
finna
life or a
upgrade.
train pulling into a station.
over time.
This was cinematic storytelling that nobody had ever seen
Ain't gonna lie
before.
though.
The
That shit
groundwork
low key though. That
to
shit
show
don't
reality,
look bad.
but to escape it. His film, A Trip to the Moon in 1901, featured hand-painted sets, multiple exposures, and the
that
famous
shit
image
cold.
of a rocket.
You wouldn't even imagine this shit would come out in 1901. Like, I ain't gonna lie, this shit low-key look like some shit. Low-key, yeah, actually, yes. It look like some 1901 type shit. It don't look bad though, low-key.
Stuck in the moon's eye. This wasn't just a recording
shit
of
tough.
life or a train pulling into a station. This was cinematic storytelling that nobody had
1901?
ever
Never
seen
mind.
before. The groundwork was laid, and movies were no longer just moving pictures, they were stories. By the 1910s, film had found its voice, metaphorically speaking.
Oh yeah, niggas ain't
Directors were
talking
learning
back
how to
then.
tell complex stories with nothing but music and visuals. No dialogue, no spoken lines, just performance, framing, and emotion. Thus entered one of the greats, Charlie Chaplin. Chaplin's character, the Tramp, could make you laugh and cry in the
I heard
same
about bro.
scene.
I heard
In
about
City
bro.
Lights, he falls in love with a blind flower girl, and when she finally sees him for the first time, you feel it. No words necessary. Then there was Buster Keaton, the master of physical comedy and death-defying stunts. The General, Sherlock Jr., these weren't just funny, they were engineering marvels. No green screen, no insurance waivers, just an actor willing to put his life on the line to get the shot. And we also can't ignore the technical brilliance of D.W. Griffith's The Birth of a Nation. It has many problems, but it introduced techniques like cross-cutting and close-ups that defined modern editing. It truly was the founding work for cinematic realism. Meanwhile, over in Germany, films like The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari turned cinema into a psychological horror show. Twisted sets, painted shadows. This was German expressionism, and it told us something new, that the look of a movie could express a character's inner world. Silent films proved that cinema was more than a gimmick. It was a visual language. Then came 1927, and everything changed. The Jazz Singer hit theaters with a groundbreaking line,
Wait a minute. You ain't heard nothing yet. Wait a minute, I tell you.
It was the first feature-length film with actual audio, what many people at the time called a talkie, and audiences lost their mind. Overnight, Hollywood went from silent to speaking, and actors who had made an entire career off of their expressive faces now had to act with their voices. Some made the leap and others didn't. The truth is that it was chaos. Studios scrambled to retrofit stages and build sound booths, but out of that chaos came a new era of cinematic storytelling, one where music, dialogue, and ambient sound could enhance the emotional impact. And just like that, cinema started sounding like real life.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
With sound came structure. The 1930s through 50s marked the rise of the studio system. Companies like MGM, Warner Brothers, and Paramount were
say this where the iconic shit started forming. This where the iconic moment started. You know what I'm saying? This the birth of the iconic. You feel me? Companies and shit like that. You feel me?
essentially
This
movie
when we finna get that
factories. They
since
owned the actors, the
1930s on some
directors,
shit.
the stages, and
Okay.
sometimes even the theaters. But this era also gave
Warner
us
Brothers.
undeniable classics like Gone with the Wind, Casablanca, and The Wizard of Oz.
came
Directors
out in
like
the
Orson
30s? I thought
Welles
that was like
pushed
the 50s.
boundaries, while stars like Humphrey Bogart and Judy Garland became household names. And behind the curtain, studios controlled everything. Directors were under contract, actors had zero personal agency, scripts were manufactured to meet demand. Hollywood looked shiny, but it was just a machine. And then came Citizen Kane, often called the greatest film ever made. Not just for its story, but for something that audiences had never seen before: cinematography. Orson Welles and cinematographer Craig Tolland used deep focus, dramatic low angles, and long takes in ways that nobody had ever seen. Every frame was carefully composed to serve the story, and it changed how filmmakers thought about the camera as more than just an observer, but a storyteller. Still, the golden age was golden for a reason. It created the visual language that we still use today.
Your complete attention, if you please.
But while Hollywood polished
glad
its
that shit did
image
look
and built
beautiful.
its empire,
Did it?
a quieter revolution was happening overseas. After World War II,
Somehow.
Italian neo-realism emerged, a reaction to the devastation of the war. Films like Bicycle Thieves and Rome, Open City ditched Hollywood glam for real locations and non-professional actors. No sets, no stars, just stories about people. In Japan, Akira Kurosawa
My bad, chat. This is where we start getting the real niggas movies. Real nigga movies. And Glock, really? That's crazy. Italians really made, so they the first niggas to make like hood movies. And they the first, like, they the original gangsters. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to the Italians, man.
cinema. The whole thing. Every major turning point, every game-changing moment that shaped the movies we love, and knowing the journey of how movies came to be will make you love them even more. So grab your popcorn, because this is the complete
Nigga,
history
did I just go
of
all the
cinema.
way back? The fuck?
And long takes in ways that nobody had ever seen.
Oh shit.
Actual figures. He was creating.
Oh shit.
While Hollywood polished its image and built its empire, a quieter revolution was happening overseas. After World War II, Italian neo-realism emerged, a reaction to the devastation of the war. Films like Bicycle Thieves and Rome, Open City ditched Hollywood glam for real locations and non-professional actors. No sets, no stars, just stories about people. In Japan, Akira Kurosawa is still to this day considered one of cinema's most influential figures. He was creating moral epics with visual precision. Rashomon played with perspective, truth, and memory. Seven Samurai laid the blueprint for modern action films, and even inspiring everything from The Magnificent Seven to Star Wars. These weren't just foreign films, they were global voices, proving that cinema wasn't just American, it was universal. It was for everyone. So by now, movies had sound, they had stars, they had stories, but there was still something missing. Enter Technicolor. Now, filmmakers had been experimenting with color since the 1910s, but it wasn't until 1939 that two iconic films flipped the switch. Gone with the Wind and The Wizard of Oz.
I didn't know that
Both
was the 30s.
exploded
though.
onto the screen with rich, saturated
crazy.
color that left audiences stunned. Especially when Dorothy walks out of the sepia-toned house and into the vibrant land of Oz. This wasn't just a new look, it was a new era. And if The Wizard of Oz cracked the door, the red shoes flung it wide open. This 1948 ballet drama didn't just use color, it weaponized it. It proved that color could be emotional, surreal, and part of the narrative itself.
It's got green
It was
screens
like
and shit.
watching a painting come to life, and it changed how color was used in film from then on out. Technicolor didn't just enhance the visuals, it changed how directors thought about wardrobe, set design, and mood. Suddenly, filmmakers could use color not to just show, but to feel. And by the 1950s, black and white was considered old-fashioned. Unless it was a deliberate artistic choice, color had officially taken over. Then something else happened. Some directors decided to no longer follow the rules. In France, a group of rebellious film critics turned filmmakers, guys like Francois Truffaut, Jean-Luc Godard, and Agnès Varda decided that they had enough of polished studio films and decided to launch the French New Wave, a movement that embraced handheld cameras, jump cuts, natural light, and characters who talked directly to the camera. Breathless, The 400 Blows, these weren't just films, they were statements, and audiences
like the
were
first,
in awe. And this auteur theory, the idea that the director is the true
paranormal activity shit. On some paranormal activity shit. I ain't put his tongue on that shit. What the fuck? I'm sure.
author of the film, not a studio, lit a fire under American filmmakers. People like Stanley Kubrick, Alfred Hitchcock, Ingmar Bergman, and Federico Fellini started crafting deeply personal, often surreal films. Directors were no longer factory workers, they were artists, visionaries, storytellers, and soon they'd take over Hollywood.
It's not personal, son. It's strictly business.
Enter the 1970s, arguably the most transformative decade.
How the fuck did we go from the fucking 40s to 70s, my nigga? What? Am I missing something?
Rebellious film critics turned filmmakers, guys like Francois Truffaut, happened.
What the fuck?
Some directors decided to no longer follow the rules. In France,
how the fuck did we go from the 40s to the 70s, my nigga?
They'd take over Hollywood.
It's not personal, son. It's strictly business.
Enter the 1970s, arguably the most transformative decade in movie history.
Star Wars.
The old studio system
This
was
is where we
crumbling.
start getting
Box
like
office
the first
return-
box office blockbuster films. Like, you feel me?
Returns were down.
I know a little. I
Audiences
got a
wanted
little ball
something
knowledge.
real,
You feel me? I
gritty,
got a little bit.
flawed,
I got a
and
little bit.
dangerous.
I got a little bit.
So into that chaos stepped a new generation of
Star
directors.
Wars,
Scorsese,
fucking,
Coppola, Spielberg, Lucas, and Kubrick. These weren't just filmmakers, they were filmmaking rock stars.
Hell yeah,
Godfather,
Godfather. I was
Jaws,
just gonna say
Star
that,
Wars,
but
Apocalypse
I wasn't
Now.
trying to be wrong. I wasn't trying to sound wrong. I was thinking, was the Godfather the 70s or the 80s? W fucking movie, my nigga. W fucking movie.
Taxi Driver.
Great
These
fucking
films
movie,
didn't just
my nigga.
break the rules, they rewrote them. And we could talk for hours about the cultural impact each of these films has had on the filmmaking industry and filmmakers today, and how these films are still inspiring young and upcoming directors
No
over
doubt.
50 years later. And guess
Niggas
what?
still
These
copying the
films made
Godfather.
money. Lots of it. Studios
day,
realized that they didn't have to
niggas
choose
still making
between
wall
art and
Star
commerce,
Wars to
but
this
with
day.
the right vision, you could actually have both. And behind the scenes, technology was also evolving too. Marathon Man in 1976 was one of the first films to use
Rocky?
the Steadicam,
Rocky?
allowing smooth,
Chad,
dramatic
Rocky?
shots without
Okay.
dog tracks. That innovation gave us shots that felt alive, like being pulled through the story in real time. Apocalypse Now pushed the boundaries of sound design. It wasn't just background noise, it was psychological. Helicopter blades turning into ceiling fans, Wagner's Ride of the Valkyries became a weapon. The sound mix put audiences in the war zone years before surround sound was the standard. And of course, Star Wars changed everything. ILM, or Industrial Light and Magic, was created just to make the movie possible, pioneering motion-controlled cameras and miniature effects. Suddenly, sci-fi didn't have to look cheap, it could look epic, and ILM is still around today. But with great power comes merchandising. And that brings us to the blockbuster era. The success of Jaws and Star Wars taught studios something very important. Big movies make big money. Thus was born the blockbuster.
Yep.
The 80s brought a wave
told
of
you I got a
high
little ball
concept,
knowledge,
crowd
chat.
pleasing
Yeah,
juggernauts
yeah,
like Indiana Jones, Back to the Future,
Oh my
Ghostbusters,
damn.
Top
Oh
Gun,
my
Batman.
damn.
These
Oh
weren't
my
just
damn.
movies, they were events. They had toys, cereal, theme park rides, and suddenly a film wasn't just a story, it was an entire franchise. This era also introduced something new, the summer movie season,
Oh
a
my
time when
damn.
studios would unleash their biggest, loudest, most bankable
Nostalgia,
films.
chat.
This strategy worked, and maybe worked too well because studios are still using the same strategy to this day.
It worked! I finally invented something
Double
that
move.
works!
But if theaters were for the blockbuster, then home video was for everything else. With the rise of VHS, suddenly anyone could own a movie, watch it over and over, pause it, rewind it, and study it. It changed how we consumed cinema. In fact, some cult classics were born on VHS. Films like The Thing, Evil Dead, Clerks, and Donnie Darko found their audiences after they left theaters. And for studios, this was huge. A film that flopped at the box office could still make millions on home release. Theaters were no longer the end of a movie's life, they were just the first step. By the 1990s, the Academy Awards weren't just an industry party, they were cultural currency. Winning Best Picture could catapult a film like Titanic, Forrest Gump, or Gladiator to legendary status. But it wasn't just about money, it was about validation. Studios started pushing prestige projects in award seasons, and indie films could suddenly punch above their weight class. And as Oscar night became a global TV event, movies weren't just judged in box office, they were judged on legacy. And then the dinosaurs showed up.
Yeah. Okay.
In 1993, Jurassic Park changed everything. For the first time, CGI didn't look like a cartoon, it looked real. Just 2 years later, Toy Story became the first fully computer-animated feature, and in 1999, The Matrix blew our minds with bullet time and digital worlds. The message was clear. If you can imagine it, you can create it.
Man,
Filmmaking was no longer about what you could build, it was about what you could render. The Lord of the Rings trilogy pushed tech even farther with Gollum. Using Andy Serkis with motion capture, Weta created a fully digital character with emotional depth. It was the first time audiences truly connected with a CGI performance, not just a visual. But as we'll see in just a minute, that also had consequences.
What you mean?
Okay, so you've got CGI blowing minds, blockbusters raking in cash, and indie films winning Oscars, but something else was quietly changing the way we interacted with movies.
What you talking about?
Introducing the DVD. Suddenly, you could watch the film and then watch how it was made. You had commentary tracks, storyboards, behind-the-scenes footage, deleted scenes, Easter eggs, and interactive menus. Filmmakers were now curating experiences on a DVD.
That's cool.
Directors like Peter Jackson released the Lord of the Rings extended editions packed with hours of content that I remember watching for hours as a kid.
Bro,
Blade
that shit
Runner
cool.
had so many versions that you could form a multiverse. And Kingdom of Heaven, well, that director's cut is a completely different and much better film than the theatrical cut. This was the era when audiences started caring not just about the film, but about the filmmaking. And just as we were geeking out about storyboards and visual effects breakdowns, franchises were taking over.
Did you know that 9 out of the top 10 highest grossing films of all time are all franchise films?
What? I have no idea.
That's not a coincidence. Studios realized that original stories were starting to get risky, but sequels, those are safe, and known IPs, those are even safer. So studios decided to double down. Harry Potter, Pirates of the Caribbean, the Dark Knight trilogy, the Hunger Games, and of course the big one, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. After Iron Man hit in 2008, Marvel changed the game. Now it wasn't just about a hit movie, it was about building a cinematic universe. Each film wasn't a standalone story, it was simply a puzzle piece. And the model worked until it didn't, but we'll get there.
And this shit crazy, I
While
ain't gonna lie.
studios were building
I feel like
billion-dollar
low-key,
franchises,
I don't know. I feel like most people problems with Marvel, it's oversaturated now. A lot of people, like I feel like people just used to it now. That's why people don't have the same love for it they had back then. You feel me? Cause back then it was new, like seeing a bunch of your favorite superheroes all in the same, you feel me, movie. That shit was calm. That shit, or like, nigga, you ain't see Spider-Man linking up with fucking Captain America and them niggas. Like that shit was, you feel me? Like that's one in a lifetime shit. Now it's getting to the point like niggas just like, oh, this nigga with them niggas too much. Like, you feel me? Like, you know how niggas just niggas hate over shit they have too much of. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? I was finna make a joke, but it was a bad joke. I'm just gonna move past.
technology was quietly leveling the playing field. Cameras were getting cheaper, digital cameras started to enter the market, and in 2002, Star Wars Attack of the Clones became the first major film shot entirely on digital cameras. The results were mixed, but the writing was on the wall. Film wasn't just competing with digital, it was about to lose. On top of that, editing software became available to anyone with a laptop. YouTube launched in 2005, and suddenly a kid in their bedroom had access to the same tools as a Hollywood editor. Movies like Paranormal Activity, Tangerine, and Searching prove that you don't need a massive crew, you just need a great idea. The digital revolution gave birth to a new generation of creators, and while that's amazing, it also meant oversaturation. There are now thousands of films made every single year, and many never get seen. The line between movies...
It's like I be calling this shit before it happened, bro. Oversaturation. We're too exposed to this shit now. Like, that's the whole problem with today's society. That's the entire problem with everything. Oversaturation. We're too exposed to everything now. A bad bitch. You want to go see a bad bitch, nigga? You could literally type in a bitch name. Matter of fact, nigga, you can go on your search on Instagram. Literally, just go to the little magnifying glass. You go see a bad bitch on your shit, nigga. You don't even have to do that. Probably you have to go on your home if you're a hornball enough, nigga. On your For You page, nigga. Dead ass. Like, it's, you want to go see a pair of titties, nigga? You could just go on Twitter and go see a pair of titties. Back then, nigga, you had to actually, if you wanted to go see a pair of titties, you had to go pay for that shit, or you had to get a bitch. Get some cool, actually. Get in the field. It's oversaturation now, my nigga. Niggas ain't gotta work for it no more. It's just there. Nigga, we used to have to go hunt for our food. Nigga, we could just DoorDash. If I wanted a 12-piece, nigga, I could DoorDash that 30 minutes to an hour in my crib. That ass, like, we too oversaturated. We too exposed to this shit now, bro. Like, that is, and it's kind of sad, but at the same time, it's like, you know, like, I feel like now the only way people can stand out is if you do some over the top, extraordinary shit, like out of the box shit. That's the only way niggas stand out nowadays. Like, you gotta make one of a kind shit
and content.
And now I feel like that's how it's been most, like, all the time. I feel like that's how it always be. Like, you gotta stand out, of course, duh. But like, now it's even worse. Like, dead ass, bro. The rarity now to make some good shit in today's society, cause ain't gonna lie, today everybody doing the same shit. Everybody making the same shit.
Film reels
movies, music.
Studios stopped printing on 35mm, and theaters switched to digital projectors. Kodak filed for bankruptcy, film labs shut down, and entire generations of filmmakers would never touch a film strip. Digital had officially won the format war. But of course, not everyone surrendered. Directors like Christopher Nolan, Quentin Tarantino, and Paul Thomas Anderson pushed back. They shot on film, and they projected on film, and Tarantino even opened his own 70mm theater. And guess what? It wasn't about nostalgia, it was about texture, grain, imperfections. It was about soul. Digital may be the future, but some stories still need that old-fashioned heartbeat, and that's what many directors are still searching for today. Then came the final disruption. Streaming. First it was Netflix mailing DVDs, then it was Netflix streaming everything, and then everyone joined in. Hulu, Amazon, Disney Plus, HBO Max, Apple TV, Peacock, Paramount Plus. Suddenly, theatrical releases had competition, and not just from other movies, but from bingeable shows.
This shit gets so bad, nigga. I don't even go to the movies no more. Nigga, I like dead ass. I see a new movie come out, everybody talking about. I'm like, I'll just wait till that bitch hit HD on the 1, 2, 3 movies. I'll just wait till that bitch end up on Netflix. I'll just wait till that bitch, you know what I'm saying? I'll just wait till it end up on a streaming service on some shit. You feel me? Like, get ass, like, a nigga don't even go to the movies no more. The only time I go to the movies was like, with a bitch.
Theaters shut down. Entire movies like Soul, Mulan, and The Irishman launched online. Convenience won, but at what cost? The communal experience of the theater is fading. Movies have become background noise, and streaming made cinema more accessible than ever and more disposable. And then everything stopped.
That COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
In 2020, the pandemic shut down production, closed theaters, and delayed releases. Movies like Tenet tried to bring audiences back, while others like Mulan went straight to Disney+. For the first time in over 100 years, Hollywood hit pause. It forced everyone to rethink how movies are made, how they're distributed, and what audiences actually want. And coming out of that moment, something crazy happened. Audiences started to want to see risk again. Everything Everywhere All at Once, Top Gun Maverick, Barbie, Oppenheimer. Suddenly it felt like studios remembered how to swing for the fences. Franchise movies started to flop and indie projects started to soar. This was completely the opposite of what it was just a few decades ago. And now we're entering a strange new territory. AI can write scripts, animate characters, de-age actors, and generate voices. The Creator was made on prosumer cameras and upscaled into a blockbuster. The Mandalorian introduced the Volume, a massive 360-degree LED wall that rendered real-time environments with Unreal Engine. No green screen, no location scouting, just a living set that responds to camera movement like a video game. It was a whole new filmmaking sandbox. We're approaching a point where movies can be made with almost no real locations, no physical sets, and maybe no human actors.
Yeah, ain't gonna
That's
lie.
both kind of exciting and also terrifying.
Yeah.
Because the question isn't just what can we do.
We know it's
what
coming, bro.
should
We
do.
know,
Will
know, bro. Ain't gonna lie, bro. We know, bro. It don't matter if it's in a few months, a year, or a few years, brother. AI movie's coming out, my nigga. Like it's inevitable. Like ain't gonna lie, we're gonna start seeing more AI shit. We're already slowly getting integrated into this shit. They're soft teasing us, really. Basically, they doing a little soft lunch. Basically, they soft lunching us with the AI shit. Next thing you know, it's just AI can be everywhere. But it's inevitable. It's one of those things where you either get with the program or boo-hoo, nigga. Like that, you can't argue with this shit either. Niggas, what the fuck you gonna do? Not use it? I mean, you can't not use it, but I'm saying, like, nigga, this shit gonna be everywhere, nigga. On your phone, your computer. Shit, you might, in the McDonald's fast food line, they probably already got this shit. I mean, I don't go to McDonald's, so I don't know. But they probably already got you talking to AIs. Probably do. It's GG's, my nigga. We cook. Robots everywhere.
We survive.
It's a new era.
Cinema become another product of the algorithm.
I don't know.
At last, here we are. The history of filmmaking is filled with ups and downs. It's an emotional roller coaster where technology is advancing and saving cinema, while on the other hand, it's advancing so much that we're starting to lose what made us flock to the theater in the first place. On one side, mega franchises, streaming giants, sequels, reboots, and remakes. And on the other, intimate indies, risky stories, global voices, and movies made on iPhones. Cinema today is in a tug of war.
Yep.
Art versus content, risk versus formula, and passion versus profit. But through it all, one thing hasn't changed. Movies still matter. Whether it's Parasite winning Best Picture or a TikTok short that moves you to tears. Filmmaking, like real films,
feel like
still has...
As humans, we have two inevitable things. Movies and music. Movies and music. I feel like no matter where our culture is in the future, holy fuck my frame rate. Holy shit. I feel like no matter what our you feel me, how we is in a couple years, if AI take over or we be on some cyberpunk shit, I feel like movies and music just go be around all the time. It's like it's one of those timeless things that, like, you feel me, we just
the power.
You can't hate on it, my nigga. Like this.
So what
just,
have we learned? Well,
the
cinema
emotional
was born
control
out of
movies
curiosity.
and music
It
has
grew
on
through
niggas.
rebellion, evolved through innovation, and today it
Like
stands at
deadass.
a crossroads. But if you're watching this, you are part of the story now, because the future of movies doesn't belong to Hollywood. It belongs to the filmmakers brave enough to take risks, to the storytellers who care more about people than pixels, and to the ones who chase authenticity instead of perfection. The next great moment in movie history might not happen in a studio. It might happen in your garage, because the next chapter in the history of cinema might just be yours.
It might be you,
if
nigga.
all of this lit a fire in you, if you watch this,
You
and
might
thought,
be the
"I
new
wanna
James
make
Gunn,
movies too,"
nigga. You might
then
be
let
the
me
new.
real with you. You
I
don't
forgot the
need to
nigga who
live
made
in
the
Hollywood.
Conjuring and
You
shit.
don't need
You
millions
might
of
be the
dollars,
new.
and you don't
You
even
feel
need
me?
permission.
Yeah.
You just need the right training, the right tools,
No
and the
doubt.
courage to start. That's why we built Tomorrow's Filmmakers.
Yo,
A
yeah.
complete
Fuck you. WVid, chat. WVid.